How do you organize your recipes? When it's time for you to meal plan, do you have everything in one place, whether that's a binder or a recipe box or a file on your computer or a Pinterest board? Or do you have things kind of like recipes everywhere? Some here, some there. Today I'm going to show you my recipe binder and kind of share with you the system that I use to keep at least all of my most loved recipes all in one place, so that when it's time to meal plan, I have everything that I need and I can do it nice and quickly. But first of all, if you're new here, hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm a wife, mom of 5, and here on YouTube, I like to share about meal planning, grocery shopping, and living frugally. So let's talk recipe organization. So I do have multiple cookbooks. Some of them, honestly, I have just because I like how they look. I think they look pretty on my shelf. One is really old, kind of more vintage, and so that one is just special. And some I'm like, I think I will get to them eventually when my kids are older and not as picky. So I'm keeping some of them for that day. But of the cookbooks I have, I really don't use most of them very much. The ones I use the most, well, there's really one main cookbook that I use besides my own recipe binder, and that is this Mel's Kitchen Cafe cookbook. I found multiple recipes on her website, the Mel's Kitchen Cafe blog, and I really liked them, so I told Pablo that I really wanted that book, and he mentioned it too. My mother-in-law, and she got it for me for my birthday last year. So I love that book. It has really simple recipes, but some really good staple ones, like the French bread that I always make is in there, and a couple other ones. So that is a recipe book that I will reference pretty often. But besides that one, like there's a fajita marinade recipe that I like in my Betty Crocker cookbook, and maybe like one muffin recipe in there. But other than that, I haven't really even explored that cookbook all that much. So for the most part, my cookbooks are kind of just for display right now, to be honest. I do a lot of looking for recipes online, especially on Pinterest. And so I have a Pinterest board that I will add recipes to as I've made them. So any recipe that I've made and enjoyed is going to be on my Pinterest board. It's recipes that I've made and love. So I will be sure to link to that if you want to see that Pinterest board and save any of those recipes. But my main place where I keep recipes is in my recipe binder. Let me show it to you here. I first made this back before I got married. So I made it back like early 2012. And I've added to it since then. It's been well loved. So the pages inside are kind of dirty. It's sat out and, you know, got flour on it or whatever else spilled on it. Thankfully, you can kind of wipe it off. I have all the pages in protectors, but I added my mom's recipes in here. I add recipes in here as I use them, and it has just been really helpful. So I'm going to move the camera around and I'm going to kind of walk you through my organization of this book and show you how it works and how it makes meal planning easier for me. Here's what the front cover looks like. I don't know if you can really see that with the glare. I just made this little cover that says meal planner and recipe binder. And I have a free printable for that and some of the pages in here. If you are interested in that, I will leave the link in the description box for you. So here is a look at the inside of my book. Over here, these are a bunch of loose papers. When Pablo does cooking or baking, he likes to print stuff off when he's trying new recipes. So I've just stuck all of his here till like I know for sure what ones he wants to keep, and then I can incorporate them into my book. This is a page which I have not updated lately, but it says family favorites cheat sheet, and I just wanted to write some basic recipes down here just to remind myself when I'm meal planning, kind of like, okay, what even do we like to eat? Because you know how sometimes you just like freeze up when it's time to meal plan. So that's kind of what that's for. But honestly, I don't use that often, but I have that in here. Now, this is the main index of my book. Like I said, it's not fancy. I did this back in 2012. I have not, redone these pages. So this is just how I did it back then, and I've been adding. So the basic idea of this binder is I have these sections I've made: chicken and turkey, soups, chilies, hamburger, meatless, beef, don't have too much there, pork and other meat, cakes, pies, cookies, other desserts, breads and muffins. Sorry, I told you guys this was dirty. Jello fruit salad, vegetables, salads. I promise I make salads and stuff. I just don't really use recipes for them, I guess. So that is why there is nothing there. Dips, spreads, and sauces, breakfast foods, and beverages. So going back here so we can look at it a little bit better. This is where I have my index. So everything I've added to the book, I've put in with a page number that I've added. So I can just look on here at my chicken recipes, scroll down through it, see what I want, and then find that page in my book. That way I don't have to worry about the order that I'm sticking things in the book. I can just stick recipes in the book as I find them. All I have to do is add a page number and I know exactly where to find it. Now sometimes, and you'll see down here, beef veggie soup, this I just noted that I can find that on my website. That way, if I'm looking for meal ideas, I can still see the idea, but I didn't feel like printing it off my website, so I can just look and I know where to find it. Same with this potato soup. I don't make it super often, so I didn't feel like printing it out. I know it's on Pinterest. I know it's on my Pinterest board of recipes I've already made. And then I have one more here that's different, leftover turkey soup. This is in my Mel's Cafe cookbook. So I've noted some of those on here just to help me when I'm meal planning so I can get all my ideas here, and if the recipe's not in this book, I've noted where it is. So this is what my recipe book looks like. Like I said, not fancy at all. These are recipes I copied from my mom. So I have some like that are literally just copied and printed. Other ones I typed out on the computer. These are all ones I did before I got married. And as you can see, this page was well loved. But then there's other ones, like every page looks different because I'm totally not a perfectionist. You could do this super fancy. You can do it however you want it. For me, I just am happy to get the recipes in there. Some of these I added back before I got married, and I've found that I actually don't use them that much. So one of my goals is to eventually update this, take out all the recipes I'm not actually making anymore so that it only has what we are using. But for now, it's still working great. This one on this really cool paper was from my mother-in-law, and she gave me a bunch more. This is one I make a good bit, so I have that right in here. Enchiladas suizas and also champurrado, which is really yummy. Wow, this page is disgusting. I don't know what spilled on that page. Sorry about that. But I have more recipes from her also in the back here so I can easily access them. But yeah, that is the basic idea of my recipe binder. So moving on here, I think I have about 33 pages. These are some of the recipes I've added recently. Air fryer chicken, white chicken enchiladas. These are meals I make a lot. And I had been just going to Pinterest for them. And I realized, okay, I make these ones enough that I need them in my recipe book. So I just added them and then put the number on the bottom, wrote them in my index, and it was super fast, super easy. And now I have them right on hand when I want to see what I need when I'm meal planning. If you like the idea of doing a binder like this, but you're like, that looks super disorganized, I do have printables that if you use all the printables, it will look much more put together. I just didn't want to redo my whole recipe book because it's been working great for me. But I have printables that all, this is one of them, the family favorites cheat sheet, but then I have pages for each one of these categories, or chicken, soup, beef, desserts, all of those things. So if you want to make something like this and you want it to have a more cohesive look, you can check the link in the description box. I'll also put it in the pinned comment. You can grab those printables for free and make a binder like this with a little bit more of a cohesive look. But what I really love about this binder is that when it is time to meal plan, I can think, okay, I know that chicken is on sale, so I'm gonna look at chicken on here and see, okay, what are the chicken recipes I want to make? And most of my favorite chicken recipes are all going to be right here. So I don't have to be searching around on Pinterest or on files on my computer or in other recipe books. Everything that I normally like to make is going to be right here, and I can just quickly flip through here, and it's basically everything that I need for meal planning in one place. I just wanted to add really quick, one thing I forgot that's really cool about a binder like this is that you're making your own, so you can add whatever is helpful to you. So if you want to have a list of like all the best prices that you see, for instance, the sale price that you look for chicken breasts might be $1.99 a pound, things like that. Have a list in your meal binder so that when you get ready to meal plan, you can look at the ads or whatever and say, okay, is this something that's going to be a good deal for me this week? Yes, that's the sale price that I'm looking for. And then in that same binder, you can flip through and see what your chicken recipes are that you want to make that week. So adding things like that can make meal planning even easier, and it's all in one place in your meal planning binder. So I would love to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments, how do you organize your recipes? If you have any tips and tricks to share with other people, leave them in the comments so that we can all learn. If you are interested in making a recipe binder similar to this one and you want some printables to help you do that more easily, I have a free printable. It's multiple pages, I think like 20 pages or something. Don't quote me on that, I need to look back at it, but it's completely free. I will leave the link for that also in the description box so you can grab that. I also have a lot of my well-loved recipes on my blog, so I will be sure to link to that so that you can check those recipes out as well. Okay guys, that is it for today. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in my next video.